Good morning, everybody. It's Marty the JavaScript Party. I'm my buddy Rhett. It is cold outside. Let's see. What does it say? Of course, it says wind advisory in effect, which is not particular. It is kind of windy. It's 39 degrees Fahrenheit last week. So I feel like 2 weeks ago I was like, oh, it's like 25 degrees or something like that. And or it's like 30 degrees outside, 35 degrees, and it feels comfy. But I've already acclimated because it was like almost 80 degrees Fahrenheit a few days ago. And I went out running in it and immediately started acclimating to the hotter weather. And then now we're back down. So, anyways, that's the way life is. I think this is our last cold snap. I'm waiting for the browser to start up. But basically, we are working on Angular material. While we're waiting for that, I'll just say this: we're working on Angular material and a table. We're up, and we're up, baby. Let's go down to tables. If I remember correctly from yesterday, it's on the right side over here. And let's keep on going. QRS, it's an alphabetical order table. And then there's my favorite kind of table, and it's this table, although I do want to I want to do it a little bit different. Okay, so this is basic styling columns, table with drop down support. No, drag and drop support, so you can just kind of move that there. This is one so that you can, I guess you can add or delete, add data or remove data. So it just deletes one. Dynamically changing columns, so we could shuffle and these move around. We could select a column to remove, or I guess it just automatically removes the last one. Who knows? Adding and removing data using an observable based data source. And this, my friends, I feel like, well, I don't know why they made this such a bright white color. And then, like, I feel like they should have made the text in there just like completely black, and then the white like an antique. It might be antique white, some lighter white, but whatever. It's not really what we're doing. And so I love that. I just think that looks so nice. And it's a good experience. Now I want mine to be a little different because I want to be able to have two open at the same time. So there's that. Now filtering is something I also want to add. So like HE. And so, and I definitely want to, I've done this a lot, but I want to like kind of dig into it with like how it so you see, like, I wonder if I look on 9, for example. 9. Yeah, see, it searched and found everything with a 9 in it. But let's say we look for, instead of 9, we look for I. Then everything that has an I in it, it doesn't, I don't think it matters. Let's see, what if I do VE? Oh, well, unfortunately, that's not a good one. Let's see, is there one that has where the first letter? No, unfortunately, every one of these, the first two letters. So I don't know if BE picked it up because of the BE in here or because of this BE. But anyway, so we definitely want to do filtering next, but I don't, or we want to do filtering in the near future, but I want to do this one first. Don't exactly know why. I don't know why I've decided I want to do this one before that. And that is sort of one of the things I try to do is give that's so crazy. I don't remember giving Rhett her nut, but apparently there's no nut here, so I must have given it to her. I believe there's special code in here that prevents more than one from being open, and I don't think there's any issue with one being open. Although sometimes they'll have like like there's maybe only one record that can be displayed. But that's like an implementation detail. So anyway, so this is next, and this is a kind of, oh, so on my code, I guess that's the thing. Let's reload this. Then I think we left it in a really good state yesterday. Yeah, so now, unfortunately, like, I guess, I don't know. I don't know how this works because when I come here, it's going to reload and it's going to get rid of all my data. But that is a browser thing. Like the browser just chooses to create a whole new instance of itself and refresh when you do that. But then if I add something like this, and then I hit back, then I hit forward. Oh, could have sworn I could have done that. I was able to do that yesterday. Oh, actually, no, what I did was like use this. And see, now since we're um, in the session, but it seems to create a new session from what we were doing before. It just seems to be very, very finicky. So it'll be interesting to see how, like maybe I'll have to add like a link to for the end-to-end test to be able to work. Maybe I'll need to add a link to the table view, to the data entities view. I don't know, or maybe it could be like a hidden link. I don't know, but again, that's not even in the next things to work on. But anyways, I think this looks really good. But at this moment, so I need to add like the ability to click it and open it. And I just don't even know. Like, it's kind of one of those things where when I've worked on this at jobs in the past, at the end of it all, I don't really remember all the steps that I did. Like, I don't really quite remember handing Rhett the nut a second ago, just because like how many times have I sat here and handed Rhett a nut? So like it's hard for my brain to necessarily give high value weighting to that. I know it's hilarious, hilarious. All right, so now we have to we're in needle in a thread stack mode, right? So we're going to look in here and try to figure out what the important pieces are to make things expandable. All right, so they break it up into three things: HTML, TypeScript, and CSS. And it looks like the first thing we want to do is it's probably in this markup. So this is, we have a header row, we have a mat row. You see, we have two mat rows, it looks like. And this is expanded detail. What? That is weird to me. I mean, I just like, I'm guessing this is the expanded detail row. And we created a new row. And if I, you know what, if I remember correctly when I was, see, I'm starting to remember things because I'm in context now. I think there is an expanded row after every one of these, but it's like hidden. Yeah, see how we have like a little row that's only 600 and that's only 1 pixel tall. And so then when we click on, so this is the one for, I think it's for lithium. Let's just double check. So it has one. Yeah, so this is a row with a single element in it. And it's currently 1 tall. And I believe it's lithium. See, it says call span 5. And oh my gosh, we just keep on getting deeper and deeper. There's a diagram. Okay, so here we go. This is our detail element. This is our detail element wrapper. This is our TD. And what I was what I've been trying to figure out is this one lithium? It probably would have been just faster just to freaking click it. 2. Okay, so this is element position 2. Okay, so this one is actually helium. All right, so I'm going to click this and expand on that. And now this thing has a height of 141. And then click it again. And now this has a height of 1. So basically, it does create all of these. It only shows the selected one. It already has all the data in all of them and everything. So that's pretty cool. And this one, I think, is the example detail row. Now this is weird because this one's also called example detail element row. Oh, okay. This one is example element row. This one is example detail row. Now let's go look at the code. Let's see. This one is example element row. So that's this one. Oh, and then this is expanded detail. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Okay, so this is Matt header row. This is that row. Oh, and then this is expanded detail row. So we have an example, extended. So it kind of acts like, okay, so if I were to just add this in there and just try to figure this out, because it is not as obvious. It's not that like the things that you need to do are so hard. It's like trying to figure out what the things that you need to do are. But once you know what they are, they're pretty easy. All right. So why do I have a spare? I guess I copied it from over there. All right. So now we have this tr mat row def, which is exactly very similar to the one above it. And apparently we do say let row columns, and then we have this columns is expanded detail. So we actually define the columns right in line. So so this one we gave it a variable name, and I think this is why things can get kind of confusing because in other contexts, not that we have. Oh yeah, up here. So in this context up here on line 3, the thing on the left is the data source and it's inside of parentheses. So like you immediately say, oh, okay, this is how I communicate to the transpiler that I want to get information from the TypeScript. But down here, on the other hand, we don't. We're trying to get it from TypeScript, but there's no parentheses or anything. And we can just give it the name. And then down here, the name of the array, but down here we say, oh no, this is a array like defined inline. And I think this is the kind of stuff like that sort of fly under the radar of developers when you're first trying to learn and stuff is like, wait, now we got brackets, but they're on the right, like all these tiny little details that are different. Now, expanded detail, I think, is the right name, but the class expanded detail row, well, oh no, this is example. So I want to name this expanded. I think I can just name this whatever I want. I don't know, but I don't think that like they have an opinion on how you name these classes. I don't think. And then, yeah, so apparently, so here's what I think. I think if I hit save here, it'll work. I don't think that we've broken anything. And, oh, we did break something. All right. There can only be one default row without a predicate function or set multi-template data rows. So apparently, we can create a predicate function, which, I don't really remember exactly what that means. I know I've dug into and had a lot of fun with what the heck a predicate function is. And I remember it being incredibly useful for me to understand that, but at the moment I can't remember what it is. I feel like if I start walking down in that direction, I'll start to unlock those memories. But at this point, let's leave them locked up. And then it says, or I could set the multi-template data rows. All right. I kind of want to dig into this. And like I said, the biggest reason that I've sort of stalled out at this part of the code is because I've hit this. It's so many jobs I've run into issues around this and kind of just flailed around fixing stuff and then got it to work and then moved on with my life. So this is like sort of a luxurious time for me where I can just spend time exploring this. Okay, so I'm seeing this. So I am working in Angular 21 with a mat table, and I want to create detail rows, um, um, and I feel like I want to just automatically jump over to like I want to have more than one up at the same time because it seems like an important detail that might affect things, but I kind of just want to get this working first. And then if it doesn't work, I actually want to run into that, like what the actual problem with taking like the basic common traveled path and then trying to get off the path a little bit and what problems I find. Because I don't think having multiple rows open at the same time is a common type of thing. It might not even be possible. I think it probably something that I could probably just build on my own, saying just kind of emulate what they're doing and then do it myself. But anyways, um, I added this markup, seeing this error. And I just, if you go back like 2 minutes ago, I really 100% thought this was going to work as is. Like I thought I would just have like an empty. Um, okay, let's read that. Oh, multi-template data rows. Oh, I wonder if multi-template data rows is what will let me. And that I guess that was the reason I kind of stopped, pulled the brake, and said, okay, I want to dig in what the difference between a predicate function is and multi-data rows is. Um, I'm assuming this is a property of the mat table. But like when we look in here, let's go look at the HTML. Maybe they did have multi. Oh, okay. So they actually have this multi-template data rows set here. All right, now I want to see if I just put this in here. And this is a perfect example of why I like to have these things on different lines. Because, like, let's say in the past we'd set this up and now I want to do that and I want to add something here. There's a very good chance that somebody else is going to also want to add something in this for this table. And so, like, our chances of being able to not have a get conflict go way down if we put these on different lines. So, um, let's see if it looks like it's working. It looks like that fixed it. No, it looks like that really broke things. So error, assertion error. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So this is the question now. Okay, I'm working in Angular tournament. I want to create edit this market. I'm seeing this error. So it's a new error now. And this is the market I added. And let's just see what ChatGPT almost always makes a table saying to render a row over there's 0 columns registered. So I have not registered, apparently I have not registered expanded detail, a column definition. Ah, okay, that makes sense. So that's cool. That's very interesting. So assertion error, I guess, would typically mean that I need something along these lines with the name of expanded details. So something like that. So we need to create a container, which is, I don't know what they call these. They probably calling them like a definition, HTML definition or something like that. All right, so we do not have an expanded element, and we do not support that. And then this. Ah, okay, so we'll get all of them open at one time without little that little piece of code. So I think probably should. Okay, if this works, okay, I don't want to go into like a big explanation of something that is completely wrong, right? Like that's not helpful to anybody. Well, it might be helpful to me because man, my chances of remembering it. Okay, yeah. So now they're all open all the time. So actually, so that's why I'm glad. So the idea is that you, and we don't want to call this element. This is an ST record, right? And we do in fact have a variable name s displayed columns, so we could do that. And then st. And I guess we already have it, st record.json. All right, so what I want to do is show that in there, that this JSON in here where we have more space. But I don't always want to do it, right? I just want to do it sometimes. I only want to do it if you've clicked on it. But we need to add like logic too. So on click, and then we probably need to add hover, and we need to make the mouse a different color on the row click. I mean, make the mouse where it's like a clicker, like one of these things, like a finger, and then click on that, and then it opens this, and and then we have like, and then we could probably make this taller, and hopefully maybe like this JSON. Maybe we could do something like where we add like a break or something after every comma or something like that. Um, but anyways, um, I think that's a good spot to go. So just to sum up, what happened is we added a new row called expanded details, class detail row, and I was like, okay, done. And then we got a weird error. And the fix for the first weird error is to add this multi-template data rows. So done. And then so I guess that's just telling it that hey, you got to there's going to be more than one row per record, I guess is your the takeaway from that. And then um what happened was we still had an error. And the error was that I didn't create one of these ng containers for the definition. So I guess like if you're just looking for like sort of a rule of the road to sort of make your life a little easier, the this every one of these, every column, apparently every defined column has to have a corresponding ng container. I don't even know if it has to be an ng container. I wonder if this can be a div. This is just for fun. Div, div. Very curious what's going to happen. Apparently nothing. Apparently it doesn't make a difference if you use a div or a, yeah, they don't care. So apparently this doesn't even have to be an ng container, but you do need some sort of element that maps to every column that you define in every row. So, and they kind of have to happen together. Like, so you can't just say, I'm going to create my row and just make sure everything's fine and that I didn't fat finger anything. And then go, oh, wait, I need to do this. Now, again, I do think it's really important if you're using Git, which I think Git is basically the default. I've literally not heard of different um, different document source code, source code control system. Is that the right word? That's not the right word. Um, source code control than Git. Git's all I've heard for decades now. I probably have not seen it in any place or seen anything different in any place for since I worked at Datascan, which I think was like in 2012 or something. And that was the last time because I think they use source tree. No, 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 no. They had actually just recently flipped over to Git. They had used Microsoft SourceSafe or something like that before that. So, anyways, here we go. So tomorrow, we'll have to figure out how to modify the CSS for each one of these main rows, and um, then um, add like a, and then add a link, add a click handler so that it can be rendered, and then add logic to basically create some sort of data structure that defines which ones of these should be visible and which ones shouldn't. They had a concept of it looks like they had a concept of um, a single expanded element. If the single expanded element is this element, probably what I want to do, if at all possible, I can't see why it'd be a problem, is I want to have a list of expanded elements, like a dictionary. And in here, if I'm passing in the dictionary and if the dictionary has a value and it's true, then we show it expanded. If it has a value or if it has a value and it's false, then we will hide the expanded dictionary. I mean, we'll hide the row, or we'll make the row height one, or whatever it is that they do. Um, so that is that. I hope everybody has a wonderful day and happy coding. Bye.